Hey there fam, welcome back to the vlog. So this is not a video that I was hoping to make, and I know everyone was expecting to see the last part of the trip up the highway as the next video. Honestly, I have all the footage, but I have not edited it yet. It's hard to explain. I don't know, I just have not felt the desire to edit that video, honestly. So there's been a lot of behind the scenes changes as far as the cabin here in Alaska is concerned. And in the end, the owners and I decided that it would be best if I were not to live here this winter. I just can't get the cabin ready for winter habitation in the time that I had. And there was other issues such as sourcing enough firewood, not being able to get a more efficient wood stove in time for the winter, but also nobody's lived at this cabin full time in decades, and nobody's tried living here in the winter time in decades, and the cabin just is not ready. It's just not ready for it. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but I was pretty stressed out over the last few weeks, just with everything that's going on, and it finally came to a head for me a week or so ago when my brother and his wife came up to visit. I didn't film any of it when they were up here. We actually did a lot of work around the cabin, but it turned from let's try and make the cabin habitable for Matt to live in this winter to this is not going to work, so let's just do a bunch of little projects around the cabin, get everything cleaned up. We cleaned up some more of the trees that we felled before, stuff like that. So what's going to happen now is I'm actually going to be leaving the cabin and moving back to Utah because there's just not enough time for me to want to find a rental up here, and because of all the stress and everything that happened, I just need to go back to Utah for a little bit and kind of reset myself, recenter myself, prepare a little bit better before I make an attempt like this again. And I hate that I feel like the 8 weeks that I was up here at the cabin this summer feels kind of like a failure. And I know I shouldn't feel that way, but at the same time I had planned to be up here and working on this cabin, and the fact that I now have decided to turn around and go back to Utah and to leave Alaska entirely for a year or two, I don't know, I can't help but feel like it was a little bit of a failure, but at the same time I know that it's going to be the best decision for me. And I'm not going to stop making videos for the channel. I know that most of the subscribers that I got from that first video were likely because they wanted to see work on this cabin, and if you guys don't want to stick around and watch me do stuff in Utah for a year or two, that's totally fine. And I understand that, and thanks for watching. But I would still like to film adventures that I do in Utah, and also I do plan on coming back up to Alaska. So I'll be filming coming back up here. I want to make one trip at least this winter, and then one trip next summer because I have some flight credits that I have to use. And I think it'd be fun just to come up and visit, slowly work my way into leaving where I grew up and where all my family is and moving to Alaska versus just making the leap from leaving all of that behind and jumping into a dry cabin all at once. So there's a couple of plans that I have to try and get back up here. I'm not sure which one is going to end up working out, but my ultimate goal is to end up back in Alaska somehow. So I'd love to bring you guys along as I figure that out and any adventures. And going back to Utah, I did do a lot of adventuring when I was back in Utah. I just never filmed any of it, but I love camping and hiking and exploring and just going out and seeing things. So I know a lot of my friends up here would probably like to see that, so I'll keep trying to do that so I can have some content for you guys. And then also, once I come visit Alaska and start looking at properties and permanent places for me, so I'm not renting, I would much rather have my own place where I can do my own things. So I'll bring you guys along for that as well. It's just going to take a little bit longer. I was hoping that this would work out, but unfortunately it's not. And I'm actually the plan is for me to be packing up this cargo trailer right here and leaving on Saturday, which is only like 3 or 4 days from now, from the time of this filming. So it's super sad. I'm kind of bummed. But at the same time, it's what I need to do. I can't spend a winter, even if I could somehow miraculously get this cabin ready to spend a winter in it. It wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good for me. So I'm gonna be heading back to Utah. So yeah, that's the update. Sorry it wasn't what everyone's expecting. If you would still like to see the last video of the trip up the Alaska Highway from Tok getting all the way down here to the cabin, I'll probably edit that at some point. And I did do a lot of filming while I was up here. It's just all sitting on my media hard drive at the moment, but I don't know, I may just toss all of that footage of the cabin that we filmed cutting trees and doing projects and cleaning out the loft and stuff like that, just up on one really long video for those that are interested in watching it. But it's not going to be out for a while because I've got a lot to do this week. I've got to pack up everything, get it loaded in the trailer. My parents are actually coming up here. They were already on a long road trip for my dad's sabbatical, so they just detoured the first half of their trip to come up to Alaska. They've made the trip before and they love driving up to Alaska, so they're coming up to help me pack out the heavy things that I can't lift by myself. And then we're going to caravan back down partway through Canada, and then they're going to take off and finish the rest of their road trip, and I'll just drive back to Utah by myself and then go find an apartment to live in. So that's the plan. I may film some of the drive home too, but I don't know if I'll put it up. If I see interesting things, I may make like a montage video or something of just interesting things we see on the drive home. But considering I'm just now finishing posting the drive up, I may not post that for a while. We'll see. So anyway, that is the plan. Still kind of sad, but I'm looking forward to getting back home and getting things in my life reset, being better prepared for the next opportunity that I'll have to come up here. So that's the update. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for subscribing. Thanks everyone that has commented. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.